everybody, it's Carrie with Seed to Spoon. So I am out here in our shop, in our back of the shop. This is our grow area that we have. We have two different stands here. We have one over here with some heat mats and grow lights with some peppers and tomatoes. And then behind me over here, we have some of our cool season crops too. So we've had these setups for quite a while. Even at our old house a couple years ago, we had one of these inside of our house, actually in our office. And that way we could see it every day and check on the plants and make sure the plants were all good. I prefer to have them inside because then I remember to check on them a lot more frequently than when they are out here. So these ones I try to make sure that they are just either like the up potted ones or the ones where I need to actually use heat mats because I don't have a heat mat inside the house right now. I'm saying all that because there was something that happened out here that caused us to have some leggy seedlings. Let me show you what I mean by leggy seedlings. These plants over here, you can see that they are looking a lot more fragile than a typical seedling would, and they have grown quite a bit taller as well. So what has caused that is being too far away from light. So in our case, we actually had a burnt out bulb in here and it was underneath some grow lights, but it wasn't getting enough light. So by the time we saw it, it was a little bit too late. These seedlings were already looking leggy and all of that. So I just wanted to take a few minutes today to hope that you guys can learn from our mistake that we made this season and prevent it from happening to you. First of all, prevention is going to be the first main key thing that you want to do. This means providing it adequate light. So making sure that the light is correctly spaced right above where the seedlings are. You don't want it to be touching, but you do want it to be right there so that way it doesn't have to reach to find light. Also, if you're using any sort of covering, like a dome, just like we've been using our biodomes, you want to make sure that you are removing that lid once your seedlings sprout, and that way you can lower the lights, first of all, too, but it also helps them get more direct light, too. So there are a few things that you can do once you notice this to try and help combat it. First of all, the biggest thing to do is as soon as you notice it, make sure that you get the light fixed because that is the main thing. So either make sure that your grow lights are down lower or that way, or just make sure it's getting better access to the sun, lights, something like that. So in our case, what we did, we replaced the bulb that was out, and then also we lowered them down too and removed our covering because this was one that was outside in our shop. So it had gone like a day or two without me noticing that I needed to take that off and lower the lights. So that way they were also struggling from that direction also. Another thing to do, if you do have these heat mats too to help with the germination process, if those seedlings are sitting on those, make sure that you turn those either off or down and it will help slow that growing process as well. And I know this is not everybody's favorite answer, but if you are still early into the growing season, something you might want to consider doing is simply restarting these seeds. I know that's definitely not an option for everybody, and it wasn't an option for us because we ran out of those varieties that we were looking so forward to. So we are hoping to try and baby them through this process. Another thing that we're going to make sure that we do, something that we actually already do have in place, are some fans. We have some box fans set to the side of these, and if you use that and have a little bit of circulating air, it can help get them get a little bit stronger down below as well. And you definitely want to try and do this before you take them outside and go through the hardening off process, because it will help them be a little bit stronger before they go out there because they are kind of struggling. And also too, depending on the type of plant that you have that this happened to, you can help fix it too whenever you go to transplant them outdoors. So especially things like tomatoes and peppers, they're very forgiving, and you can plant them deeper into the ground than where they had been growing at, where they're sponges. So you can actually go up to the first set of true leaves and plant them up to there. You can even do this with a few of the brassica type plants as well. Also with these plants, if you haven't been before, you need to make sure that you are watering them from below. So that way their roots can grow down and try to, be as strong as possible instead of watering from the top and then having the roots stay really shallow. This will help them whenever you go to transplant them outdoors by having a stronger base. I hope that this video helps give you a few tips on how to prevent, and then if it does happen to you, also help to remedy the situation at hand and hopefully rescue some plants out there. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. And thank you so much for watching, everybody. We'll see y'all next time.